Now we're going to talk about a system of linear inequalities. So last night and today we were dealing with linear inequalities where we had one linear inequality and we had to graph it to find the solution graphically. Now we're going to be talking about a system. And remember, a system means more than one linear inequality. In this case, we're going to talk about two linear inequalities. We're going to talk about y is less than 2x minus 3, and we're going to talk about 2x plus y is greater than 2. Here, this is a system of linear inequalities. Now, when we solved systems of linear inequations, we had several methods for doing so. We could do it with elimination, we could do it with substitution, or we could do it with graphing. We're going to deal with systems of linear inequalities with graphing because graphically is the only way to really represent the answers for these sort of inequalities. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get these both into forms that are easy to graph. This first one is already in that form. It's in slope-intercept form. Let's get this second one in slope-intercept form. To make it easy, I'm just going to subtract this 2x from both sides. And that gives me y is greater than negative 2x plus 2. Okay. Now I've got two equations in slope-intercept form that'll be easy for graphing. Here's our coordinate plane. So for our first equation here, we figure out, okay, here's the y-intercept, so we start by graphing at the y-intercept, which is negative 3 right there. It's got a slope of 2, so I can go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And that works out actually because now we have a broken line, right? We have this broken line representing part of our inequality. Now we just have to figure out which side to shade. I recommend using different colors or at least different designs to make it clear where one side is shaded, where the other side is shaded, and where there's overlap. We try 0, 0. Let's see. Is 0 less than negative 3? 0 is less than negative 3. 0 is not less than negative 3. Sorry, 0 is not less than negative 3, so we have to shade this side over here. Okay. Now we deal with our second equation. Well, we start out at the y-intercept again. Remember, that's right here. So we start out at positive 2 right there. And this has a negative slope, so now we go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. And we can do the same thing, but go in this direction, continuing our line. And now again, we have this nice broken line, because it's not also equal to, it's just greater than. And again, we plug in 0, 0. Is 0 greater than 2? 0 is not greater than 2. So we shade away from 0, 0, which means over here. And we can see that our overlap area is this area right in here. Okay, I'm just going to add a little purple to that to highlight that this is the overlap area. And therefore, that's our solution to this thing. Our solution is, just making sure my line stays broken, our solution is that graph right there with that area shaded. So solving systems of linear inequalities is basically solving linear inequalities on two of them on one graph and just seeing where the shaded parts overlap.